Yeah, in Cascade they still do.
In the winter time, he does it, he used to jackhammer first, the battery operated jackhammer to break down the cross.
Goodwill again.
Yeah. He's like,
Go to Goodwill.
almost 70 years old.
Maybe.
I think so, Mom.
Yeah.
You're sweating, I know you were.
You called it.
What did you call it?
But you know, some kind of thing, there's something.
That was, first half was that good, but the second half was, that place was.
I'm not electric around. You know, or Saturdays.
What? Yeah, I mean, more than I thought there would be.
To do what?
I'm here with the score that
Yeah.
you're on TV.
Yeah, I'd say maybe two.
That's what I got. There is a bunch, I got her fading. Other than there's two back, there's 340.
I wish I was
Both have their historical.
You get a 2 for 1, right?
Like you don't see, like you go to the other stadiums, you see like the there it's always just around.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just, you know, like some local guys.
Yeah. It reminds me of like the big house, and the big house can still do it, so I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes that.
Yeah. Cable. Yeah, I think probably about 30 people there. About a third of the people. Yeah.
Rick decided how to do that.
Oh.
Rick decided how to do that.
They said a kickoff real field 7. I was row 3 in the end zone.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if I was getting warmth from the field heaters or what, but I wasn't cold at all. No. And the one complaint I have about the whole thing is you don't sit down. You stand the whole time. Yep. So, halftime I took and sat down. Everybody, yeah. It's crazy. We came home today. Yeah. There was no way traffic. I mean, the traffic in that place. There's no, it would have been, $8. No.
All right, gonna call the meeting to order. Nate?
Present. Here.
Rick? Here. John?
Here. Here.
Pledge allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Your motion for the consent agenda? So moved. Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public input is the time and place for discussion items now already on the agenda with the time limit of 3 minutes each. All right, budget presentation, Cemetery. Everybody has these in front of them, I believe. If not, they're also on the computer, but we'll just go through these. These are pretty much similar to last year. Got salaries, wages come out of there, portion of them, and then the big one is the ground maintenance repairs and mowing contract. So $63,450 is the projected expenditure there.
How much of the grade will be?
We did it at 500.
I'm gonna say it's 500.
It's 500 and 750.
Correct.
500 for cremation and 750 for the.
And then there's some upcharges at St. John's.
Yeah.
Is that sufficient?
We just upped it, and when we did, was it last year, I believe we did, and we kind of did a comparison with, like, everybody kind of in and around us to get the pricing for it. We were way low, and how we drew attention to it was because the funeral home is the one that told us that we were low compared to everywhere else. So then we kind of reached out with the quick net to different places and tried to stay kind of in the middle.
When you're looking at this wrong, revenue is money. Anybody else any questions on the cemetery? Historical preservation.
This is just their normal training stuff. Obviously this year they haven't used a lot. We went to 1,500 versus 2,000, but otherwise they don't have much there.
Any questions? No. History Center.
There's two portions of this. The city portion, that's for like the building repair for the exterior, and then there's the insurance that we pay. And then the main portion is on the other side. I talked to Christina, I know I talked to you guys about the ambulance, what's coming with the ambulance. So what we're going to try to do, just because it'd be easier to go this route, is we're going to try to get the funding for the ambulance as though it's going to go through in the budget. It's going to be a whole lot easier to supplement back what we don't have versus completely rechanging it once we assume it's going to pass. So one thing is you see the west wall there, that's been just a placeholder for grants. We're going to use that, some of those funds there, because we're going to have to come up with 80,000. There's no predicted any type of grants for the west wall this next year. So I'd like to pull that money out of that, put towards that ambulance line item. But other than that, everything else is status quo. There's insurance on this one, and then the other contractual services is what we give the History Center, which pays for their utilities to operate there, out of there. So a total of 10,700 for there. So the only difference is the 5,000.
Any questions? Community beautification trees.
This is pretty similar as well. Tree maintenance, that's for any kind of trees that need taken down or for trimming. Up top you see a $2,500 we'll probably put in for a Trees Forever grant. We did not this year, so we probably will next year. And then obviously down at the bottom there, the $2,500 goes back in for when you purchase the trees, so you got to show it both directions there as a revenue and an expenditure. Other than that, it's $24,750 for that. And on the next page, this is an additional tree fund that's just a second line item for that, so it's $20 for interest.
I got a question. Is, I think 21,000 to be enough to get what we've done?
One more time, Rick, sorry.
Huh?
What was that?
21, you said you got maintenance?
Yep.
So that's for cutting down, is there any, do you think that's enough?
I think so. I mean, we've taken down like 300 trees, I think, between the water main project and the ash borer. If you kind of look this year, we're at 3,200 since July. You can look under that YTD under actual. It's kind of in the middle. That's what we've used so far. So we still have approximately 16,800 left this year. So I think we're pretty active with that.
Next year they got it.
Do we know how many ash trees we have removed? Because I remember it was
It was 250.
like 105 of them.
Yeah, I don't have the list.
I think there's 250 total between the ash and the water main project. And then there's probably been, between the storm last year, there's an additional 50. So we're up to 300 taken down between the two projects, so project and the ash tree.
I thought we only had like 105 ash trees when we did the tree survey about 5-6 years ago.
It was done before me, I'm not sure.
I can get that to you, I don't remember what it is. I got the book down at the report. down
I
at
just,
the-
300 sounds crazy high for.
I think that's
but
a lot of
the
that's-
water mains
Yeah.
make sense,
Yeah,
and some of the trees were very low.
Well, and then getting with the cemetery, have we even started thinning down some of the pine trees, that,
So the tree board's supposed to find apparently there's a.
they're crowding every
Yeah,
day.
blue spruce that's, the deer don't eat, so, that's kind of on their plate to figure out what they wanted to do. Somebody had mentioned a fence, but obviously that would cost a lot, so, I think probably gonna have to go in there and
Needs a good thinning out,
cut every other one and then, or do something.
Replace with
because it's
blue spruce
damaging
or
them all when we leave them crowded like that.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of options there. Putting up a lower growing barrier to cover up the bare limbs that everybody, the deer only reach so high. We didn't know how well they liked.
How aggressive they were gonna
Yeah.
be back years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just that
they
one
didn't
year,
always-
those were old arborvitaes
Yeah.
when they finally got hungry enough to eat them.
Yeah.
You know, that they were first planted 26 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, and the deer didn't touch them until 8 years ago or something like
All right, anything else? Discussion possible action in reference to letter of support for library grant application.
Elizabeth is here from the library. You want to talk about that?
So we'll be submitting an application on Thursday for $20,000 from the American Library Association. If we don't get 20, then they'll consider us for 10,000, and it's to improve the accessibility of the library. The main things we want to do are putting a door, a button to open the front door, some call tools on the elevator, so if the elevator is not on the correct floor, then we can call it, or call staff to come help the person who's stuck on the floor. And some additional shelving bins. Our shelving project didn't get all of our picture books into the new browsing bin, so we're gonna include that in the grant application. And let's see, maybe some book delivery through Meals on Wheels to homebound patrons. So a variety of different projects we're thinking about working on through this. And we'd be hosting some community talk sessions for people with disabilities to come in and share some of the issues they might experience in the library.
And this doesn't require any match.
No matching.
Okay, anything else?
When do you find out about the grant? When do they award it?
It's for it's like sometime in April, I think.
Is it-
So I'm not sure when we'll hear back, but I will let you know what we hear.
So guaranteed 10, but we want to try to get to 20.
It's not guaranteed, so
Oh, it's not?
hopefully 20, and if not that, then 10 will be the next best thing.
Okay.
And so we're just asking for you guys to sign a letter of support that you think this is a good project.
I need a
that. Motion to approve the signing of the letter.
I
Did you
second.
read how good a letter I wrote?
Did you write this?
No, he did not.
It looks good to me, what?
Got a motion, got a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good luck.
Thank you.
Discussion possible action in reference to well number 5 bid, rebid.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Alger, I'll give you a little bit of background so you understand what we're looking at here with the well project.
Thank you.
This is your council member, but we had wells in town, 3 wells for quite a while, one at the fire station, one was to be over at the public works shop by the old water tower, and one at the railroad. And one at the water tower, we had some bacterial contamination, and that well was closed a while back. And we had 2 wells, one at the fire station and one at the railroad. We built one out by Big Church to replace the one at the city shop. That one's doing pretty well. The one here at the fire station does okay, but not quite as good as the one over there. The one at the railroad was our backup. That was a lease through the railroad, it was on railroad property. Had issues with contamination from the co-op for several years, and they were doing remediation. We thought we had turned the corner on that, and the railroad came and said they were building no wells on railroad property. So our lease was suspended, and they abandoned that well. We were fortunate enough to apply for and receive a grant from Lynn County for $1 million to replace the well. And we drilled the well and found that there was a little bit of an issue with the water quality and that it was high in iron.
Not to interrupt you, but where's the location?
This is 3rd and Jefferson.
Okay.
Knocking me out.
Yeah, so initially we were looking at putting the well chemical feed building right there by the barns on the Macamil property. The city owned it for a period and then it reverted back, so we moved it north at the intersection of 3rd and Jefferson, and it's up near the sports center. So bid the project once. We had a storage shed on the back of the building, chemical feed building, and the prices came in higher. The city took on some of the work to put the water main in and do some of the site improvements, and we also worked with the contractor that was doing the grading at the sports fields to take care of the grading on the well site. All of that was done for much less than what the first bid was. We put it back out. So the bid now is to put in a well. The casing's already drilled, but we have to put in a well pump, drop pipe, check valves, and then we have to run electricity out to where that well is. We have the water main run already. We have to put chemicals in the well, water, in order to treat it, chlorine, and we also talked about putting in a sequestering agent because the iron's a little bit high. That'll tie that up so it doesn't spill out right away, but it will require frequent flushing in order to make sure that we don't have a buildup and start to get discolored water. So this well is again a backup. We talked about doing a treatment plant out there to lower the iron.
How many hydrants would be on this flushing of this?
If we operate this well, it'll be hydrants in town that we would flush. Just right now, you do that twice a year, Travis. So it might require a little bit more frequent if we're running just on that well. If we continue to run the well we have, well 4, we don't have that issue.
Okay.
But instead of putting in a treatment plant to take care of this, we're going to use it as a backup, and then we'll run it on occasion, and we'll put in the sequestering agent that we can use to reduce the amount of potential that will settle out, but it will still have a flushing need. So where we're at now is this is the second time we've bid this project with some of the work already being done, and now we're just looking at the well and the building are the other 2 components to this. We received bids, and that's what we're here to report on tonight, is to run through that. We received bids from 5 contractors, and the bids range from $849,300 to $1,091,500. And there was an alternate to not put the storage on the back, and that storage is about 335 square feet. It's 11 by 26. The low bidder said that they would give us a credit of $96,000 if we didn't do the storage. We went with a smaller building. That's roughly $335 per square foot for that storage space. So in talking with Brandon and Travis, we feel that the city could probably build storage of that size somewhere else at a much lower cost. So looking at going with the alternate bid, and that bid is if we take that $96,000 off, $753,300. We've looked at this twice now, and the building price is broken out in the bids. Both times were right around $400,000 for the low bid for the building. The low bidder in this case had $500,000, and they had a lower mobilization cost. So it just kind of depends on where the contractors hide the numbers. But at any rate, having bid this twice and seeing the same number, even though it seems high, this is what it's going to cost us if we want to proceed. I think at the end of all this, we're about $150,000 over that $1 million that we calculated, Brandon. If we were to do this alternate,
It's 150 to 200,000.
so we're getting a well that the county has given us a grant for $1 million, and we have to pay $150,000, and that's a pretty good value overall for the city. If we want to make it operable, we have to have the chemical feed and the controls at the well, so we're recommending that we move forward with this. I think if we bid it again, we're not going to see anything lower, given that we've done it, and we've got pretty good turnout as far as bidders. Both times it's just higher than we think it should be, but they're telling us that's what it's going to cost. Did talk with them a little bit, the low bidder, just to see if there would be some value engineering potential. The things that they identified is instead of doing a hardy board siding, which is a board batten, for architectural purposes, if we were to do vinyl siding, they said we could lower the cost, which I don't know that we want to necessarily do that. They said if instead of doing a metal roof, we go with shingles, that would also help. And there's also a PVC panel liner on the inside because we have water in there and chemicals, and this is a wood frame construction. that if we were to go with paint instead of that PVC, that would help reduce costs as well. So those are three things they offered up right away, that if we were to enter into the contract, that if we wanted to consider that, they could give us a deduct. We wanted to look at it. I think we'll look at it, and if it's not significant, we'll just stay with where we're at, but certainly there are some things we can take a look at that might potentially help us. We'll also talk with the controls integrator and see if they've got any ideas on trying to get the controls down a little bit with cost after we have award the contract. But that's what I've discussed with them so far. Nothing significant. These are all little items. We could add up to something. We'll find out after we talk with them, but we can't negotiate until we have a contract in place, and then we can go in there and see what they would offer up. So I was just looking for some preliminary feedback from them to see if they had anything that stuck out. But
And when could we look for this?
if we approve the contract tonight, we'll get them a contract, and then we'll have them offer up pricing on some of those things, and then we can bring it back. Sit down with Travis and Brandon and see if these are things they want to entertain, if there's anything else that we want to talk about after the contractor mentions them to us. If there are things that we feel are not good value for the city from a long-term maintenance standpoint, it might be a less cost up front, but it's going to be a lot more expensive to maintain. We don't necessarily want to look at that, but certainly want to try to get this thing put in. I think our money is available through that fund from the county.
December.
Until next December. So we do have to move on this in order to realize that.
So what are we losing between the two buildings?
We're losing the storage on the back, and then there's a little decorative overhang on the front.
So, you're losing storage, so are we gonna build the storage down there?
Yeah, we're gonna, I mean, the 90-some thousand for that little bit of storage is, yeah, it's a rolling.
We could rent it for storage for that for
Well,
50 years.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So this has a little overhang on the front, and then it's got the storage on the back side. The other building is just the front of that without the storage in the
Well, we're not gonna save that much on shingling versus steel.
Okay, I'll get those numbers assembled from them, and we'll take a look at them, but the step tonight is to approve so that we can enter in negotiations, then we can't negotiate outside the contract.
Yeah.
So, I need a motion.
Does this sound good to you?
I mean, I think it's that price, there's nothing we can do.
I'll make a motion.
We take Whitmer bid,
Yes.
$753,000.
Yes.
The alternate bid, one.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Discussion and possible action in reference to payment number 1 to MBA Incorporated for ball, diamonds, and sports complex.
So Lisa from YTT is on, and she can go over this. Lisa, you there?
Yep, good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
This is pay application number 1 for the baseball fields portion of the sports complex. This is phase 2. This pay application includes work they've done earlier this year, including mobilization, survey, grading, purchase of materials such as the bases, the foul poles, and the wing poles. They've purchased and installed most of the irrigation system. They have done some of the dugouts, footings, and posts. They have also done installation of the backstop wing poles and a portion of the subdrain system, most of the subdrain system. So tonight we are looking at approving to pay them $357,390, and that includes us withholding a 5% retainage. And then they'll be back in the spring to keep working.
How much is this total for this whole thing?
I think it was right at 900, is that correct, Lisa?
Somewhere in that range, yeah. I don't have it right in front of me because we had so many alternates, but somewhere in there. So this is just like a third approximately of the work so far.
Is there any questions? Need a motion?
Motion to approve payment.
Nice second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Public hearing, reference changes to ordinance 6503, three-way stop intersection, Craig Boulevard, Myers Drive. Need a motion to go into public hearing?
So moved.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, this is for ordinance 6503, which is three-way stop intersections. We're adding subsection 7, intersection of Cryberg Boulevard and Myers Drive from east, north, and south, to put in that three-way stop sign.
So, I got, any questions for him? Need a motion to go out?
So moved.
Got a motion to go out of public hearing, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First reading of ordinance 04, 2025, update to intersections.
Motion to approve the ordinance.
Got a motion for the first reading, so, do I have a second?
Second.
Nate,
Aye.
Riley,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Kevin.
Aye. So we went by that's third, second, third.
I can put it on the second one of the next meeting if you'd like. Okay.
Resolution 41, 2025, certification pay and assembly.
I'll let Travis handle this.
So, we have certification pay for when you get your grades for your water and wastewater, and Jake Siggins has passed his water distribution, and so now we wanna give him that certification pay.
Didn't we bring this up at our last meeting?
We talked about it, but it wasn't on the agenda.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And that's not been the policy previously? I mean, this is...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been, we've done this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and what's the standard, 50 cents?
50 cents,
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have to approve it when...
We have to approve it?
Yes.
It's not just automatic?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
So I need a motion.
Make a motion?
I second it.
Motion and second, Kevin.
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Rick.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Nate.
Aye.
Correspondence.
Nothing tonight.
City engineer report.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Public works.
Just give you a little update on the cage blade that we purchased for downtown and the cul-de-sacs, and it's cut our time probably in half in cleaning those areas. It's been a game changer for us as far as the time we take to get our streets done, so that was a great purchase. Other than that, I want to thank the guys for covering for me yesterday and taking care of the streets while I was gone.
Do we have plenty of salt on hand?
Yes. Yeah, we're still using last year's salt.
Anyone else got anything? Police department.
He couldn't be here tonight, but I have his report. Nick Mackey's starting the academy January 4th. They're scheduling more interviews for an additional officer, and then they've been out dealing with snow complaints and tagging vehicles that are parked on the street. That's all I have for him.
Ambulance.
Will you go back to Drayton, please?
You always get me.
You did. He's even marking it on.
You want me to go or?
No, it's an ambulance. Library.
So we're applying for the grants. In October, we completed our annual report. We had an increase of about 91% in attendance over the last year, or the last fiscal year in library program attendance. So we went from, I think, 1,600 up to 3,000 attendees at events. We increased the number of events we did from 123 to 200 over the last year. So it's been a busy year, and Meredith, our new children's librarian, will be hosting a couple of events that we haven't previously announced over our winter break. So while kids are out of school, they can come and do Cardboard Kingdom, where they play with cardboard and design creations out of it. We're partnering with Southeast Lynn for all of these events. And then on Tuesday, they're doing a porch pot activity with the Master Gardeners. And on Wednesday, or I think it's Wednesday, it's New Year's Eve. They're going to do a New Year's Eve party where there's a balloon drop at noon for kids to celebrate. I think they're going to drink sparkling apple juice and do crafts and activities too. So it's a big New Year's Eve party at noon. Other than that, we're getting ready for accreditation, which is an every 3-year project where we have to submit all of our documentation to the state library to prove that we meet the standards. And so that's gonna be a big project that takes up a lot of my time for the next couple of months. That's it.
Anything for Elizabeth? Thank you. All right, Greg, follow that.
Girls basketball is wrapping up. We got our last games on Saturday. We will transition into boys basketball after Christmas and the first of the year. A lot of snow removal the last week and a half. And then the only other thing I have is the veterans flag there. That's was made by all the elementary kids at Lisbon School. Carrie Spidell reached out to me. She's the art teacher. She wanted to see if we would display it down here. So I talked to Brandon. He thought it was a good idea, so we put it up. Put it on our Facebook page, and I think it's a really neat project they did, so that's all I got.
Downtown, your Christmas.
Oh, yeah, good point. Christmas parade's on the 19th. We're doing the parade from 6 to 6:15. We'll have a dance group down at the gazebo from 6:15 to 6:30 roughly, and then we will have our Santa and Mrs. Claus and the bake sale from Southeast Link Community Center and the fire station from 6:30 to 8. We got goodie bags for all the kids, and then they'll have all their baked goods and stuff, so yeah, I think we got quite a few that are signed up for the parade, so it should be another successful event.
Any questions for Graydon? Fire chief.
The only update I have is, for those of you who haven't heard the noon whistle, as I updated before, it was sending out erroneous siren alerts, so it's still down. It is usable, but until the weather gets straightened out here, they're not gonna be able to come check it out. We hope it's just a programming issue, but again, it's still, you can still use it, but I just didn't want it plugged in and have it alarming at odd hours of the day. That's it.
Anything for fire chief? City manager.
Dealing with a lot of snow complaints, people blowing snow into the street, blowing snow into their neighbor's yard, snowmobile complaints, same old things when you get a lot of snow. Just kind of deja vu, I guess, back to 10 years ago. Doing a lot of budget stuff for next year right now. It's a good time of year to do it, obviously. Also, we had 25 applications for utility billing clerk. We did 5 interviews last week, and we got 3 more scheduled this week. Started the background checks on that. And then been working with Lisa on the first phase, Dave Schmidt retainage for some of the aesthetics that they need to come and repair at the sports complex. So hopefully we can get a resolution out of that maybe for the next meeting. That's all I have tonight.
How many's on the committee for hiring this?
Well, you'll end up doing it, but the interviews and personnel, it's Nate and John and I.
They do the first, and then when they
They
find
condense
somebody,
it down.
find somebody they like, they'll bring it to us. Anything else? Brandon? Christina?
My main focus at the time is the budget, and then working with Marcia, so that way we can make a smooth transition to the new person.
Christina? Nate?
Just want to say a big thank you to the Public Works for getting the streets cleared in light of all the immense amount of snow that we've had the last couple of times.
Carl? Sure.
Is there any way that we could take a look at that tree down there on Monroe Market? Blocks the view.
On the corner?
Yeah.
I know we talked about it
I
before.
think
You're
it's
supposed to have it down.
growing out again.
Evergreen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, it was on the line before,
Yeah.
and it's grown more.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'll see if I can get there. That's all I got.
John?
Snow removal, good job, that's all I have.
Kevin?
Just a question, will we have a second meeting this month.
We have to plan unless you don't want to.
Oh, no, I just,
It's
you
typically
know,
we
we got
had
in the past, it's pretty
It's
close.
been close, but we thought the 22nd this year, it was a few days before, but that's up to,
They're probably not doing much on it, it's probably just gonna be some budget stuff.
that's the main reason for it.
No, I'm fine for it.
Yeah, if it was any closer, we've been kind of forgoing it, but it was kind of in the middle, so.
Rick doesn't have any plans, probably?
No, I've been bad this year.
Travis, a question for you,
You've already said your stuff.
The plow truck that you usually drive, who else do you feel comfortable driving that?
So we got Chris Rodman that does it, he's the lead operator, and then, we've been training, Keith Woods on it too, so yeah, there's multiple people that can get in it.
Good.
Jake Siggins has done the main plow, he hasn't done the wing.
Yeah, 'cause it's-
So, yeah, he can get in it and run the big plow portion of it, but we haven't quite got it. And, I mean, it's one of those things where you need snow to train them, because you can't really train them without snow, and we haven't, I mean, this year, obviously, we've gotten more snow in this last week than we have in the last couple of years, it feels like, so. So, yeah, no, we're trained up.
I'd like to follow again on that, yeah, Sunday morning I went to work really early and business 30 was already plowed. So I don't think in years past that probably would have, I don't think, I saw the county was out, which I don't remember the county plowing like on weekends, like I don't think they've kind of upped their game, so anyway, it was a good job. It was clear.
All right, all I got is, like everybody else, thank you guys, you guys did a great job getting the city cleaned up the last few times, and also thanks to the people down here that decorated City Hall. City Hall looks very nice and festive. All right, possible closed session pursuant to Code of Iowa, Section 21.5, LI, to evaluate the professional competency of an individual through appointment, hiring, performance, or discharge as being considered and necessarily to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation and that individual's request of a closed session. Brandon, would you like to put in closed session?
Yes.
All right. Motion to go into closed session.
Motion?
Motion or a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Closed session.